and warm welcome to this special interview. My name is Anoop Verma. I am the editor of ETGovernment, which is a vertical of the Economic Times focused on covering government initiatives and policies. Today, our guest for this special interview is Mr. Abhishek Pravimal. He is the managing director of Goa Industrial Development Corporation. The Invest Goa 2024 summit is scheduled to take place on January 29. This summit has already evoked a lot of interest with more than 400 delegates expected to participate. In this conversation, we'll focus mainly on the incentives that the government of Goa is offering for attracting investors and the expectations from the Invest Goa 2024 summit. So I'll now come to you. What are the key incentives that the government of Goa is offering to investors? And are you planning to announce some new incentives during the summit that is happening on 29th?
Yes, thank you very much, Anup. At the outset, I would like to welcome the media agency also to participate in the Invest Goa Summit. To start with, I think Goa is a very has a very strategic location on the western coast of India, and between Bombay and Kerala, the tip of the country. If you can find one good strategic location that is equidistant from Karnataka, Maharashtra, Kerala, Goa is very strategically posed in that sense. The major limitation that Goa has is the area limitation. So in comparison to states like Maharashtra, Karnataka, we have a very limited area. So how do we optimize the area that we have, and how do we get the best economic activity of whatever limited area that we have has been the primary objective of the Goa Industrial Development Corporation. And we have taken up several reforms. The major incentive that we provide to the industry is to make land available to the industry at a cheaper price. Goa comes with a high per capita income, a very high urbanization, and a very robust connectivity to various ports and cities on the western coast. Therefore, it makes it a very attractive destination for investments already. And in order to incentivize, we are providing land at a very cheaper price. We are also there are also a host of other incentives that the Directorate of Industry provides, which are called as the umbrella scheme incentives. So these are the current incentives that focus not just on land, but also on various other measures like adopting sustainability measures, adopting zero defect policies, training of the manpower, all such kind of incentives that would typically cover the entire life cycle of industries are available in Goa. So we are hoping that we have reworked our regulations. We are presenting one of the most industry-friendly regulations from the Goa Industrial Development Corporation. And in this new regime, we are very, very hopeful and very, very confident that a lot of industries will look towards Goa as an investment destination and come and set up their business here.
Okay. And what are the primary goals and ambitions that you have from the Invest 2024 Summit?
So we have 24 industrial estates in Goa, and one of the major problems that we see is that we have around 5,000 to 6,000 odd industries, and out of which we have surveyed and found out that 10% of the industries are sick and not able to continue their operations. But that's actually a huge opportunity cost on the society, because the land is lying locked with the non-functional units, and there are jobs lost, and there's tax revenue that is also lost. So when we analyze the problems, we have noticed that the cumbersome regulations and the lack of ease of doing business is one of the main reasons. And while ease of doing business is important, ease of exiting business is actually a very integral part of ease of doing business. So we did a very collaborative approach. We involved Invest India. We involved all the major industry bodies, took a lot of feedback from the industry bodies, and reworked our regulations so as to make it very simple, easy to come and start your business or to exit your business if you're not able to continue your business. So during this investment summit, we are looking at in the existing land, wherever there is land available, we are hoping that some good multinational companies and foreign investors would show interest in taking up those lands and setting up their units in Goa. At the same time, by providing a networking opportunity for the investors, we are hoping that those who want to sell off their leasehold rights to new investors might also do so. So primarily it's investor focused, but at the same time, we are also very eager to listen to the investors and try and get some policy feedback from them, so that we can fine tune our policies and also incentives, and focus on specific sectors like medical devices and food processing.
You have recently said that there is growing demand from investors for pre-built structures.
Yeah.
So from where they can just directly move in and start their manufacturing operations. So what kind of
Correct.
infrastructure and facilities is Goa offering these pre-built structures?
Yeah, so Goa has adopted a very unique model of creating the pre-built structure. We want a private-led model to start in Goa so that the pre-built structures are created for the industries. So what we have done in the new IDC regulations is that any company or a project proponent can take up a plot in industrial estates. He can set up a unit, construct the building, and there is no need for achieving commercial operations. So without achieving commercial operations, just with the land and the built up structures and with all the clearances, a company or a project proponent is now eligible to transfer that assets to another company at no cost. So this enables free transfer of leasehold rights along with the properties attached to those leasehold rights. So today, if like big national multinational companies are coming for investments, they are not looking at taking up the land and going through the whole hassle of doing the construction and getting all the other permits. Instead, this is a very good opportunity for real estate developers also to enter into some sort of agreements with existing companies, set up the built up structures for them and transfer to them after construction of it. Similarly, even startups are also not looking for taking up land and doing all the building construction. So these new regulations enable this kind of a privately led and privately created plug and play infrastructure to come up in IDC industrial estates and to make them available for startups, IT companies, and also even big multinational companies.
So this will also lead to the growth of the real estate sector in the state.
Absolutely. In fact, CREDAI has been very excited about Invest Goa, and there's a delegation from CREDAI which is participating in Invest Goa. And I'm hoping that they will have a very good takeaway from the IT session as well as medical devices companies.
What are the key sectors that you are focusing for in getting new investments in Goa?
The key sectors we are focusing is one is logistics and warehousing, because we want to have this, we have a vision that Goa should become the logistics and warehousing hub on the western coast. And we have notified the logistics and warehousing policy 2023 and given industry status to the logistics and warehousing. Secondly, IT and IT enabled services are one sector where Goa has not seen that much of growth in comparison to places like Bangalore, Hyderabad, or Mumbai. So that is also one sector. As I said, with the new regulations of very liberalized and sublease regulations, we are expecting some IT parks to come up in Goa. And the two other sectors we are focusing is on food processing. We are setting up one new industrial estate, which is going to be an exclusive food processing sector, which is closer to the new airport. And the fourth sector will be on the medical devices companies, because Goa is already a fourth largest pharma exporter of our country. And we are hoping that the medical devices will complement the existing pharma base.
Now, Goa is a very famous tourist place. And tourism, basically, they come because the environment is very good.
Yeah.
So how do you ensure that when the new industries come in, a lot of investment is there, the environment is sustained and there is some kind of social and environmental risks are taken into account?
Yes. So under these new regulations, the red category industries are disallowed in the state of Goa. So that way, we have already put a very stringent rule to ensure that we are not getting polluting industries into the state of Goa. Secondly, under the new regulations, we also have incentives for adopting sustainability practices. Currently, IDC is working on the policy framework for these incentives. We are hoping in Invest Go we'll be getting feedback on that also. So typically, we are trying to focus on captive solar power, minimized or recycling of water within the industrial building, use of sustainable materials in the construction of building. So if companies are coming up with these kind of measures, then IDC would like to incentivize those companies. The nature of these incentives and the quantum of those incentives will have to be decided in consultation with the industry bodies. But this is the kind of approach that we are taking to ensure sustainability of this place.
Okay. Are you giving some special incentives for the electronics and the software sectors?
As such, there are no special incentives, but I feel that whatever we are offering currently is also very attractive for the electronics and software technology companies.
So you are getting good response from them, those companies?
Yes.
Okay. So how much MOUs are you expecting to have in this summit?
We are frankly speaking, we are not focused on the MOUs per se at the moment, because that's not the target that we have. We already have offer of, we have put out around 40 to 45 plots on offer and on e-auction for various industrial undertakings and commercial undertakings. More than the MOUs, we are expecting a lot of participation of these industries on these e-auctions that are available. In addition to it, there are also so many land banks that are available for big industries through the Investment Promotion and Facilitation Board. So we are looking at direct interest in terms of either participating in these auction processes or submitting their applications to the Investment Promotion Board to get some large chunks of land. So not really focused on MOUs and getting the numbers is not the goal of Invest Goa.
Yes, and along with this, all the incentives that you are offering to the industry, they also require the right kind of labor. So is there some focus also being made on skill development to train the local youth so that they are job ready and take up jobs in the new industries that will come up?
Absolutely. We already have an apprentice program that is going on in Goa, which is really doing a good, it is giving a good, getting a good traction, and there is a lot of positive feedback from that. The other way is that we also have good educational institutions here like BITS Pilani, Goa Engineering College, as well as the IIT Goa. In addition to it, the feedback that we keep getting from the industries is that they also want to form a consortium and then start training the people who will be suitable for their own particular industries. So one of the initiatives which is there in pipeline is to set up a common skill development center in the industrial estates, which can be operated and run by the industry consortium. Because I always believe that when the industry is trained, then the training is actually very, very useful on the shop floor, rather than getting trained in an academic institution or an ITI and coming to the shop floor. So good thing about Goa is that we have abundant capacity in terms of the educational institutions and ITIs. In addition to it, also, we are working with the industries to ensure that there are training facilities that they themselves can use.
One last question. So, what kind of impact do you think that the Invest Goa 2024 event will have on the overall economy of Goa?
Firstly, the whole industrial estates in Goa occupy 0.5% of the geographical area of Goa. And in terms of the GDP, the industries contribute more than what the tourism actually contributes. So this story is not known to the rest of the country, because any person outside the country always sees Goa as a place to go and have a vacation or enjoy a party on the beach. But
Yes.
we want to tell the rest of the country and the world that Goa means business, and there is a strong industry in Goa that is thriving, and there is a good ecosystem for industries to thrive and achieve success in Goa. So this is the kind of a narrative that we want to set through this Invest Goa. And we have also put out a lot of plots on e-auction, and we are expecting very good participation in the e-auction. That will be our second takeaway. And the third and most important thing is that Goa has not been on the scene of industries and investments for quite some time. And even in the last 5-6 years, the sentiment, especially with respect to ease of doing business in Goa, has been slightly on the back foot. But under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, we have been able to make 8 positions jump on the EODB ranking. And in the last 1 year, we have taken many measures, especially to ensure industry-friendly policies and reduce the regulatory burden on the industries. So we want to convey our message. We want to convey these new policies to the industries and get a positive sentiment, especially on the industries and especially towards Goa. It has a huge potential for the industrial development, and there's not much spoken about it. So Invest Goa is that platform, and it's an inaugural event. It's the first ever event, and we are hoping that this will set the tone right. It will correct the narrative, and it will also tell the industry what kind of policies and incentives are existing in Goa to come and set up their business.
I said that this would be the last question, but I'd like to ask just one more question. You said something about the policies that you are having. Can you give me an overview, a slight overview of the kind of policies which are exceptional, which will be really attractive for the investors?
So the most important one is, if somebody wants to set up a unit in Goa, what is the mechanism through which they can obtain land? And what will be the contractual agreements with respect to holding the land in industrial estates? And also getting other incentives on land, or maybe getting the construction licenses, occupancy certificates, the whole procedural flow of taking an empty land and getting the whole building up and running. In the past, we had multiple fragmented piece of regulations. So if you are an investor coming from UK or Europe and want to understand what is the regulatory environment in which you are bringing your investment into, it's a bit of a challenge to look at multiple legislations, multiple regulations. So in 2023, we have taken up this ambitious task of consolidating all these multiple fragments of regulations, bringing them into a consolidated piece, simplifying them, and making them very liberal and open for the businesses to come and set up their units. And if they are not able to succeed in their business, to be able to transfer, or to be able to sublease, or to be able to exit the business with a much less conditions. So this is I feel a very radical change and a very progressive way of doing the regulations, and I'm very confident that in the entire country, this could be one of the best regulations in terms of ease of doing business. So we have notified these regulations on 7th of December. After this interview, I can also share a copy with you. And on the Invest Goa Day, we are also launching a good manual on these regulations, so as to enable investors understand and clearly know what is the regulatory space they are getting into and what sort of opportunities they have here.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Abhishek. And we wish you the best for the Invest Summit.
Thank you, Mr. Anoop. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.